1610. The date is June 4th, 2021, and I'm gonna start washing my hands. So when you're washing your hands, you want to make sure that you're scrubbing for 10 to 15 seconds in between your fingers and all around. Dry off your hands, and then use the paper towel to shut off the water. So the first thing I'm going to start with is my chocolate chip cookies. I have my mise en place all set up right here. I have my 2 types of flours, all-purpose and bread flour. I have my sugar, my brown sugar, and my butter. These 3 items are part of your creaming method. I have my eggs and my vanilla, and then I have my baking soda, which is my leavening agent, and then I also have salt. So to start off, we are going to add our butter, which is 247 grams, our brown sugar, which is 157 grams, and our white sugar, which is 166 grams. You're going to put it onto the mixer, making sure that you lock in all of your points. And you're going to use a paddle attachment. And you're going to mix it on medium until it's light and fluffy, a pale color. Make sure to stop occasionally and make sure your butter is getting incorporated instead of sticking to the sides and stuff. So in our kitchen today it is extremely hot and humid, so I might have to take some extra precautionary steps to make my chocolate chip cookies come out to their best quality possible. So we're going to stop it again, just scrape down the paddle, get that butter all incorporated. When you're using the creaming method, you always want to make sure that your butter is soft so that it incorporates into the sugars. So as you can see, the sugars are incorporating into the butter. We're going to let that go for another minute. While that's going, we can get our sheet pans all set up for when we scoop our cookies. So you just want to clean sheet pan lined with parchment paper. So our butters and our sugars are creamed pretty well, so we're going to take it off. And we're going to make sure to scrape down all of the sides of it. See how it's a pale brown color? That's kind of what you're looking for when you're mixing your butter and your sugars together. So we're going to add this back to the mixer. And now we are going to add our eggs and vanilla.
So while that's mixing together, we're going to add our dry ingredients. So you're going to add your bread flour to your pastry, to your all-purpose flour, sorry. And then your baking soda and your salt. You're going to put that all into one bowl and just give it a stir around. All right, we're going to stop our mixer. So we are going to add our dry ingredients to the mixing bowl. You're going to add it all at once. So when you add it back to the mixer, make sure you start on low speed and slowly work your way up. But never make sure you to not overmix it, because your product will end up becoming like cake-like texture instead of a soft, gooey cookie. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna stop it and then finish it by hand so that I make sure I don't overmix it. So I'm just gonna move my sheet pans to the side for now. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is scrape down your paddle. This is one of the most important steps so that you're not wasting any product. So I always make sure I keep my dirty dishes aside. I'm going to stick this in the bus bucket I have underneath. And we're just gonna fold in the rest of the flour by hand. This allows you to make sure that you're not over mixing the mixture. And it also allows you to get any flour that's stuck along the sides. So as you can see, all of the flour is incorporated into the eggs, the vanilla and the sugars, and butter. And this whole method that we have been doing is called the creaming method. And it's called the creaming method because you add your butters and sugars first and cream them together. So since it's hot in our kitchen today, I left our chocolate chips in the fridge so that they do not melt. So I have my chocolate chips here. They are weighed at 347 grams. And we're gonna add those straight to the mixing bowl. Again, you still want to make sure that you're not over mixing it. So now I have a pretty even distribution of the chocolate chips in my mixing bowl. So now I'm going to take those sheet pans I just put parchment paper on, and I'm going to start scooping my cookies. I'm using a number 2 blue scoop, which is also 16-ounce scoop. When you're getting a scoop, make sure you scrape it on a flat edge so that you get a pretty even scoop, and that helps with the size distribution of each cookie. You want to always make sure that your cookies look the same. Make sure that you're leaving enough space in between each one. And when you're scooping them onto the pan, try to make sure that you put them in a pretty straight line so that you do not start baking into each other. spacing, I'm doing about 2 inches between each ball of cookie dough. This recipe that I am making for my chocolate chip cookies is supposed to yield about 18 cookies. Right now I'm at 12 cookies, so I'm actually going to space these out a little bit more and just do 3 rows of 4. So just like that. And I'm gonna put this pan to the side. And I'm gonna take my next pan. And I'm just gonna continue scooping them. I got 18 cookies and there's no dough left in the bowl. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this one to the side so that you don't waste any product, and that can be your tasting cookie. So you're gonna put all of your dishes into your bus bucket. And now we are going to go put our cookies in a convection oven set at 325 for about 12 to 14 minutes. First pan's in. I'm gonna go get our second pan. when that timer goes off, I'll come back and check those cookies. You can shut it off now. So now I'm gonna wipe down my bench, my mixer, so I have a clean working station. So I have a bucket of sanitizer right underneath my bench. Just gonna wet the cloth. I'm just gonna wipe down my entire bench, trying not to get anything on the floor, obviously. Since I did just work with chemicals before I start anything else, I'm gonna go wash my hands again. So while my cookies are in the oven, I did not talk about my uniform, so I'll do that real quick. I have a white chef coat, a white apron, black pants, and chef shoes. And of course we have to wear a hat because we are working with food. My entire uniform has been cleaned and ironed. I have my thermometers and my pens in my sleeve pockets so that I have everything at my accessibility. You can stop it. Good. So our timer for our cookies are going off, so we're gonna go over there and check it. We have our oven mitts. So as you can see, our cookies have a nice brown color around the edges, but they do need another minute. So we're gonna put them in for a minute and we will take them out once this timer goes off. What you're looking for in a cookie is a nice golden brown color along the edges, so that kind of tells you that they're cooked. So, I think that was enough time. I know it wasn't a full minute, but they are pretty good in color. So we're gonna stick them right here so I can take them both out. Yeah, so they are perfect in color. So we're gonna take them over to our table to let them cool. So there's our first pan. So we're gonna let these cool, and then once they're cool, I'll come back and I'll flip some over so you can see the bottom, and then we will crack one open so that you can see how the chocolate chips are distributed. So now I am going to scale my cookies to get an average weight. I'm also going to put 2 cookies on here. I'm going to break them in half so that you can see the inside of them. And then the rest I'm going to place half face up, half face down. So here's the first cookie. And here's the second cookie. As you can see, they are slightly underdone. They could have used that final minute. And then I am wearing gloves because this is ready to eat food. So we're gonna take the average weight. So the first one's 70 grams. The second one is 68. The third one is 68. And the fourth one is 75. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna add them all up. So 8 and 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So this is a 1, this is a 2, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
281 divided by 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 7. So according to my math, they are 72. I'm going to saran wrap my phone so I can use a calculator. So now that my phone's all saran wrapped, I'm going to do this math again. So we had 70 plus 68 plus 68 plus 75 divided by 4. So it is about 70.58 grams per cookie. That's the average weight for all of the cookies, for those 4 cookies at least. So now I'm gonna put new gloves on. As you can see here, we have a nice golden brown color on the bottom, and on the tops we did have some cracking, which could mean the humidity in here was too high, which can't be fixed because we do not have air conditioning, which is why I took some extra precautions when I was baking it. So again, the inside, it is a little bit doughy, which means it could have used another minute. But yeah, these are the chocolate chip cookies. So I did forget to do one thing. I forgot to measure the cookies. So I'm measuring the bottom of the cookies to get, to see if they're all about the same size. So this one's approximately 4 inches. This one's also 4 inches. So I think I did a pretty good job scooping them. They're all approximately 4 inches in diameter across the bottom of the cookie. Other than that, I will have pictures of all of these uploaded to the hub. Thank you.